to everybody. Although I was told I may take 1 hour, I will not, because I like to have more interactions with you. So I'll take about 20-30 minutes about that. Well, the objective of my presentation is to draft the roadmap on how do we move forward from all that we have heard and what you are seeing outside. So I titled as Enabling Technology Enhanced Framework. That's what I am looking for quality assurance and accreditation in education. Maybe a roadmap for this, or I would say a roadmap for generally education of all kinds. I believe the times have come where we are not going to say this is distance, that is classroom, this is blended. Maybe even within a course there will be blended components, some on class, some delivered remotely. So a lot of hybrid modes are also going to evolve. Here is a quotation I just titled as Quality Education to All Independent of Geography. It's an observation by Bill Gates last year, August 2010. He gave this in California. 5 years from now on the web for free, you will be able to find the best lectures in the world, Gates said. It will be better than any single university. He continued. He believes that no matter how you came about your knowledge, that is either through place-based education in great institutions or otherwise maybe remotely, you came about your knowledge, you should get credit for it. It is just too expensive and too hard to get this upper level, that is campus education. Soon place-based college education will be 5 times less important than they are today. I expect this will happen within 5 years. So it's a question of how we are all going to cope. I believe there is not going to be, every university in some sense will be enabled to have certain open programs. And we can see new programs. In fact, by 2012, there is a proposal to launch a meta university which will allow programs of collaborations from multiple institutions, that is different institutions giving different courses, or even 2 institutions collaborating and giving a high-tech course together. These are all an R&D institution and a university may do it together. All these are possibilities. So technology enhanced education framework is both a necessity and inevitability. How do we tackle that? So I am just going to give on how we are proceeding with it in IGNOU. Well, within IGNOU, for example, we have 3 modes of educational delivery. The ODL mode, that is, we must be careful about that word. It is open and distance learning. It is not just distance learning only. IGNOU statutes and acts do permit what we may call as open learning. That means people who are not getting opportunity otherwise can also get. We have partner institutions, we have community college programs, we have so many other things. If you request something and you show you have the credentials and the wherewithal to do it, we will recognize it as IGNOU partner. This is in addition to the DEC approvals. Okay, that is also there. Okay, and mostly centered mode on SLM, that is self-learning material assignments and term and examination. In a sense, this is relatively weak for quite a number of types of courses where you need constant engagement much better. And learning is never by self-effort alone complete. Learning is always an alteration between self-study and peer-to-peer interactions. And how do we sustain peer-to-peer interaction in ODL had been a challenge. But with the new collaborative forms of the net, it may no longer be a challenge. And so tomorrow we need to remove the word distance learning, we call it distributed learning, and ensure that there is no casteism, that this is ODL and your degree is not recognized, that is this mode. What is important is to make outcome based evaluation assessment a reality thanks to the technology enhanced modes, and give uniform recognition to all programs, no matter as the way Bill Gates was mentioning. Okay, so regular classes mode on campus or in study centers. We also have that. We have on-campus programs in our own IGNOU campus, in partner institutions and so on. We also have the online mode, like using a learning management system, but the scalability of those programs are somewhat restricted. Okay, so presently these are weakly regulated, I would say bureaucratically, by councils and commissions that are unable to address quality. How do we assure quality in all these education? It's one thing to say, I have this program, that program, you get a certificate here, but are we assuring quality, say in the sense of Washington Accord, some qualification framework? That is the challenge. Can we have, I am asking a question, can we have a unified quality framework for all modes and assure learner centric choice of courses in different modes? That is, I would like to do one course in this mode, another course in this mode. Can I not come up with a degree program? And some may be on campus, some may be, for example, in tourism and hospitality sector. Already I am seeing Simon there. Some courses like the tourism related can be done in distance mode partly, but some in the hospitality sector you have to do on campus, and we are doing it. But let us recognize it. It is neither open and not distance learning. It is both in some sense. So I am going to give you an example of the what I call the Vedyadhara open learning environment, or I just call VOLE, VOLE, as a unifying framework developed at IGNOU, and now I am trying to convince all my colleagues to get into that. Slowly people are understanding it. Well, what are the assumptions behind this new technology enhanced framework? First of all, we assume that every course in a program is managed by a hierarchy of course coordinators, counselors augmenting the learning activities of students at their homes and in their study centers. That is the first requirement. That means it is a community driven. You see, in IGNOU we face the problem. When I have one course like database management in MCA program, I have 5,000 learners distributed across 250 study centers. These typical numbers. But I want to assure that every student has done all the online exercise. Now I am asking my colleagues under NME ICT in IIIT Hyderabad and other places, why don't you put a virtual lab? Maybe his spoken tutorials of Professor Kannan will also be added to it. So these virtual labs will now augment, and we can assure that every student here has done such database exercises, so they know how to build databases of various kinds, whether it is object databases or relational or semi-structured XML database, whatever it is. Okay. So in addition, we make education processes openly publicized. This is the important thing. I say this is the way the course will be taught week wise. These are the activities to be done, and that will be explicitly expressed over and above the study material. This can be done for all open learning program. Maybe they can run a distance education council, can run a master portal in which these course processes are also described. That is very important for a learner to know. It is not just the syllabus and curriculum. And when an learning activity has to be done, you please stipulate how that learning activity will be performed, where it will be performed, the place certified to perform. We can do many things. Okay. Alright. So we make education process openly publicized, and we also provide open collaborative forum. This is unlike the learning management system. Learning management system is meant for intranet or within a company or something through which you control and regulate people distributed. It is managed within a controlled hierarchy. Whereas in an open, it is a community driven system. It is in the extranet. So learning management in the extranet is something we have not yet thought about, and that is what we are trying to build. Okay. So OLE supports integrated functioning of various divisions in our case, like our regional services. Now similar scenario exists in affiliating universities. Okay, there is no difference. We call them counselors, they call them teachers in the affiliated colleges. That's the only difference. Except our contact classes frequency is less. Okay, we can increase it. Or in some cases we have regular classes, some cases we don't. It's up to us. So another very key feature is that we promote peer-to-peer learning for ODL students. That happens otherwise only in normal colleges. We also can augment through social networking between experts. Past bright graduate can even publicize a spoken tutorial as a clarification for a particular problem we want them to solve in an assignment. Okay, so that kind of a thing, and they can publish it themselves directly in the context of the course. It is like a Wikipedia. It is edited particularly in a wiki for that course. Here I am trying to say generally most courses can be modeled when they are conducted in the following manner. At the core of it is an instruction delivery mechanism. We give self-learning material, we can give online portal based rich content, scientific databases. We may give recorded video lectures as we are having in NPTEL or MIT OpenCourseWare. There are so many ways to say the instruction delivery can happen. Even for regular students in a class, in a regular college, under regular conventional university also, they can be augmented this way. So this model that I am presenting is uniform, and once the instruction delivery takes place, we guide them through an open course guide, I call it, OCG as I call it, the sequence of learning activities and exercises that are to be performed. Some may have to be supervised the exercise, then you do it in a study center or a place that is equipped. A study center, for example, we have BSc in nautical sciences, the study center may be a port, a dockyard. Okay, that's perfectly in order here. Okay, then having done this, during this, a learner requires feedback. The biggest point in the present ODL system is a lack of strong feedback on how much I have understood a concept. You can put an online test, maybe our Kishan Kannaji's portal or Merit Track or EduGenie or whatever. You use, in fact, the diagram here is independent of what choice of platforms you make. These are processes. Okay, this process you can take say something like a self test put in a topic, so that the student can create a quick feedback whether they are right. When he clicks an answer wrong, it will tell not just it is wrong, it will say why it is wrong, go and study this and come back and take another test. No problem, you can build that in, and that gives feedback. Some of the activities done here will also give feedback to the learners. So here the learner himself or herself is the judge with the supervision of the instructor or some system, even a remote mentor or something like that. See how much they have achieved against instructional objective. This kind of a system will assure the outcome based education. That is methodology. Of course, for the sake of exit, you need some systems, and that is you have some assessment of the activities, some online tests could be independent of self test, those are assessed, some exams are conducted, that is your choice. So at the end you sum them up and give them some grade or marks or whatever. So it is actually unified in the sense it is adaptable to all modes of learning, whether it is so called the ODL mode, face to face mode, online mode, tutored video mode, fine. So we may embed chosen pedagogy also in different subjects in different ways. If it is engineering type, maybe I will use Bloom's taxonomy or Vincenti's methods, or if it is another say science instruction, I would like to use Gagnier's 9-point methods of instruction. You choose any mode, they can be embedded into the open course guide and expressed for conducting the kind of activities. Okay, and so I am saying that as a unified framework, it will take classes, whether it is conventional teacher taking class, tutored video instruction and recorded video lectures as we are giving in NPTEL and others, IGNOU self-learning materials like type of thing which now almost all the open universities take up as the model, and we can enrich it with rich supplementary content which can be in multilingual, wiki form, spoken tutorial form which Professor Kannan expressed and so on, and we can even have interactive web portal like virtual labs and all modes you can use. Instruction delivery, however, has to be followed by effective engagement of learners. How do we build that? For this, we develop what we call a course pedagogy and management plan as an instrument. This instrument is published online. It is an active page and with appropriate links to evoke the activities. I will just mention it and how that can be embedded in this technology enhanced model, so that the disciplined technology enhanced education will take place. You know, the problem with merely giving internet links is that internet is often defocusing, whereas in a study we want to focus on the topic and not divert the students into anything else. Okay, so system is well suited for affiliating universities or open universities and will enhance quality in regular classes also. Except we have to make certain fundamental changes in the way we administer or govern the education. So in this case, I am saying at the center of it is the course pedagogy and management plan posted over an open course guide. This is a kind of set of statements in a tabular form, and these statements allow the various steps to be taken by